Let's, though, right now switch gears into the probably the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in the sporting world. And I have been an avid sports fan of baseball, basketball, and football since I was like 10, 11 years old. This past Sunday, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were playing the New York Jets, and the New York Jets are one of the worst teams in the league, and Tampa Bay is contending to win another Super Bowl. So the Jets are winning 24-10, I believe the score was, and they just got the ball back, Tampa Bay Bucks. And all of a sudden, there's a big commotion going on the opposite side of the field as one of their wide receivers, Antonio Brown, stripped down to just his pants and he was completely shirtless as he is jogging and skipping and signaling to the crowd to get loud and get excited as he runs off the field into the tunnel and was cut at halftime. And then there's images that surface on social media. You should go, people, whoever's listening to this, go on Twitter or Facebook and find him. He was standing outside the stadium waiting for an Uber, dressed in a suit with a suitcase packed in hand. So Antonio Brown, one of the most outlandish NFL players, and that's saying something coming from the NFL, he basically had enough and he said, I'll leave my uniform and my pads on the sidelines and I will have a good night because he is now out of the NFL and most people don't expect him to get re-signed. But this was so bizarre, we just had to talk about it.
Well, okay, so he says he has an ankle injury that kept him from playing. But the thing is that people were saying he needed three separate things, I think by the end of the season. It wasn't by the end of that game. He needed 55 yards, he needed 8 catches, and 1 touchdown. In culmination between all three of those goals, he would have had $1 million. So he kind of just tossed that out. Not that he probably needs it. But I think the thing that's almost compares to that was, I don't know when this was, 2014, 15 maybe, Vontae Davis supposedly, was he with the Bills?
He was on the Bills, yes.
Okay, so he's on the Bills, and then he supposedly retired at halftime. Did he ever change his mind, or was that it? I can't even remember, but that's the closest thing I've ever heard of.
Admitted his retirement papers the next day.
So, does Antonio Brown have issues? Obviously. Okay, you don't run into the end zone while the game is being played.
Yes,
like the game is on the other side
of
the field, and he's But I mean, but the thing is he's in an Uber. He's waiting for an Uber outside, so he's not totally crazy because he was totally crazy. He would have gone out and jumped into traffic and with just his shirt off, but so he's somehow all there, but he has episodes where I don't know, but that's the other thing too is is he talented? Yeah, he's when he wants to be, he's one of the best receivers in the game. So how many teams, if any, will look over this craziness if they think that he can help them come in, learn the system, couple of games later, couple weeks later, now they're in the playoffs, second round of the playoffs, he could come in, help, whatever. Teams will bypass this craziness, I think. I don't know who, just depends with how badly a need is, but I think Tony Dungy on the pregame to the Sunday Night Football said it best. He goes, nobody should sign him because then that means they're just rewarding his behavior. He's got to get help, and until he does, nobody sign him. So we'll see what happens.
Also, just a little fun tidbit to that, he released a rap song on like SoundCloud or something within 2 hours of his incident. So he had that ready to go. And then he just quit and then got on his phone and said, I'm going to drop this rap single after I just blew up Twitter and broke the internet by running across a field shirtless in the middle of the game.
You think he had it ready? And then because he knew that if he did this, let me ask you this. Do you think this was planned?
I don't think it was
got
planned.
It ready. And if he does something crazy and he knows everyone's going to be talking about it. So all of a sudden, boom, he released the video.
Maybe like his plan was if it ever went south, he would release that song. And then that was just the perfect timing because the video of him is insane. He's arguing with his teammates. And the next thing you know, he's taking everything off. He threw his gloves into the stands and his undershirt he threw into the stands. I don't know who would want that. but he whipped them at some fans, and then he just started running, like you said, while the game's happening. Like the game is going on, and he's running like a deranged fan on the field into the locker room. So
what was the story now? Bruce Arians, the coach of the Bucks, wanted him to play,
yep,
like go into the game, but he didn't want to. And Bruce Arians said, okay, then leave. Right.
And he left. Yes, he told him he's done. Yeah.
And now he's saying that he had an ankle injury.
Yeah.
Which is why
he also got suspended 3 games for providing fake COVID-19 vaccine cards to NFL players. So I mean that you need any more records of him being just a little off. That's
how did they find out it was fake?
I don't know, but I know the NFL apparently did a full-blown investigation, all assets deployed to make sure no one got a fake vaccine card. And
okay, that's the other thing. Okay, are they looking at everybody's vaccine card, or are they just looking at him because he's a little cuckoo, and so they might think, hey, he might be up to something?
I think it was because his personal chef like posted as like some of their text conversations on Twitter saying, I believe it was something like that where the chef had something to do with it. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.